Okay, so we're going to start off just by asking a few questions to our fantastic panel down here, and then we're going to hand over to you guys. Any supporters that would like to ask questions later on, we'll more than happily accommodate them. So, Neil, we're going to start off with you. It's been a busy few weeks for you. You've got the business done really early this time. It must be a weight off your shoulders.
Yeah, it was one of them where we highlighted players towards the end of the season, really wanted to bring in who would improve our squad and give us a chance for this season. So, whereas last year probably or the season before we had the cup final to deal with and finished so late, we thought we'd get our business in a lot earlier because you've seen this division now, it's getting stronger and it's getting harder to get out of this division each year. So it was one of them where we highlighted the players between ourselves, the coaching staff, who we wanted, and get them in as soon as we can.
Mark, we'll move on to you now. Obviously, as well as being the assistant manager for the first team, you are the academy director and spent a lot of time shaping what has become a fantastic part of the club. And it's been a lot going on, hasn't there, in the past year? Can you sum up what's been achieved for us?
If we start from the lower end, we've had success this year from the under-14s and under-15s. They're now both national champions, where both teams went to the home of football, which is, well, not Wembley, but St George's Park, and they were successful. So again, what we're going to do is celebrate against, I believe, Crystal Palace, where both squads are going to do a guard of honour, and they'll celebrate the coaching staff and all the squad, and just share the success of what they're doing. And I think we're starting now to see the fruits of the labour coming through, especially within the past 4 weeks. We've signed an academy player as a first team professional contract, and we've got 3 under-23s players now that are part of Neil's squad. So we're really looking forward to embedding everything that we've put together in the past 3 years. So yeah, it's looking good.
Alan, we'll come on to you now. We've seen you take a much more coaching-led role now, obviously still registered as a player, but getting really involved in the coaching on a day-to-day basis. How are you finding it?
Yeah, I enjoy coaching. Look, nothing beats playing football. It's the best. Getting the chance to coach, work with Neil and Mark, who've taken me in and given me a platform to coach and learn. I've really enjoyed it. It's my 3rd season now. I love the club. I love coaching and helping the players develop. I just wish I was 10 years younger.
So do we. Jack, obviously as a player and as the skipper, we've had a lot of new players coming into the squad, and obviously they returned on Tuesday. How's it been welcoming everyone in?
Yeah, especially, I seem to come here and say the same thing every year about the players coming in, and that's a credit to the management and the gaffer. Again, this year we have a bunch of really good boys. Even though we've been in 3rd day today, everyone's gelled well. You sort of know the players from playing against them and from the circuit. So them coming in today, I think we welcome into an environment that is friendly. It's tough. These past 2 days have been tough training. And we have boys here that want to be here, they want to work for the club and hopefully take the club on to where we want to be. But they're honestly, so far, being around them, it's bubbly, it's lively, and I'm very excited for what's coming this year.
And Luke, obviously you've been here since December with us. A lot of players come in and say there's quite a unique atmosphere and vibe about this club. How have you been finding it so far? All cut there. All right.
Yeah, definitely. The first thing I said about the club was how friendly everybody was. And obviously the positive environment that the staff create helps you settle in so quickly, especially with people like Jack Holland as well, who's obviously taken me under his wing. Thanks, kid. And also, having someone like Dunne who's just a 10 years older version of you. So yeah, I'd say it's been really good, really good.
And back to you, Neil. We've seen, as we've said, a lot of good quality signings coming in. How excited are you about the players that you brought into this side?
Very.
But you know, like we've had meetings already, and nothing's guaranteed on paper. You know, on paper, I think I've got a very good and strong squad that can be competitive. But you know, it's going to come down to how hard we train right up till the first game of the season, and then what happens during that season. And I'm saying in there as a judge, we also need that luck. I don't think we had a lot of it last year, you know, with injuries and everything else. So yeah, on paper, I think I've got a very strong side. I think I've got a very competitive side. I've got competition for all places, but you know, the only thing I've ever wanted to do at this club is to produce a team that you guys and the rest of the supporters are proud of. And, you know, and I think I've highlighted players that are going to give their all. They're good quality, they're good guys as well. And I think Jack touched on it. They wanted to come here. You know, in before I'm having to sort of beg players to come here to, you know, come to a little Bromley and everything else. And I think over the course of the last few seasons, I think we've established ourselves in this division. We'll actually want to come and play for Bromley. And that's all I've ever wanted. You know, we will produce our own. We've got a great academy, as Marcus touched on, you know, signing these players that are coming through. You know, hopefully we can announce a couple of things in the next couple of days. But ultimately, you need a team that are ready to go for it now, you know, to help those young guys through. And I think with the people that I've brought through and got into this club, I think it gives us a great chance to try and do something. I want to make history every year. And even though we come 12th last year, I think that was a cracking season for us. Obviously the start wasn't great, but you know, when you look at the clubs that are coming down, your Notts counties, you know, founding members of this, you know, that league that's above us, through where we want to get to. We're competing against them again. We've had Leighton Orient, you know, Salford, took them £4 million to get up through the playoffs. These are the type of clubs that we're having to compete against. So to produce our own players, brilliant. To bring in the guys that I brought in, absolutely fantastic. But I can't do it without, you know, yourselves and the staff that I'm, you know, getting around me. Everybody needs to pull the same direction. Everybody wants to achieve the same thing. And it will be a tough season. But I think with the players I've got, I think it will be an exciting one too.
And Mark, something that we've seen introduced into the academy side of things this year has been the girls' academy, which has been, again, a massive success. How's that been?
Yeah, kind of in their own phrases, they're calling themselves Team Legacy. So, because they're the first kind of team, but you know, it was the pilot year. But again, lower down, we've invested in launching the under 12 and 13s and 14s. And we've got a strong cup-winning side coming through into the girls next year, and they were unfortunate in the final of the Kent Cup. They were runners-up, but they've promised to be silverware this year, so fingers crossed. But it's a vibrant division of the club, and it's only going to grow and grow and grow as the women's game and England are playing tonight. And you saw that 3 weeks ago, celebrating the Scotland game, we had a women's football day. Again, over the next couple of years, there's going to be a strategy to grow the women's game, the girls' game. Hopefully, we can go and compete in the WS League against the likes of Bristol Palace. So yeah, again, like I said, it's all falling into place. But through the hard work again, but the backroom staff, from the academy coaches, the teaching staff, Sue Whittaker, all of the guys that work here day to day are all pushing the project forward, which helps. So fingers crossed.
Alan, obviously we've seen the players come back, as we touched on, to training this week. How's it been to coach them and to meet the new guys as well?
Yeah, we've had two really tough days. First day and second day today was very tough, and the boys have come back extremely fit, hungry. We've got a mix of experience in the team now, hunger, players who played in the league, youth, a bit older than youth. But no, we've got a good group. They've come back looking well. It is early days, but there is a desire in the group and a hunger in the group to succeed, and you can sense that even from the first day when they came in. Boys want to achieve something. We've got the right manager in Mark assistant, and I think the club is going places, and I think the players can see that.
And Jack, Dunne's just touched on it there, lots of fitness work in the past couple of days. How's it been?
Yeah, I've really enjoyed it. We prepare ourselves a lot for what comes, and it's demanding. The gaffer and the management demand a lot of us, and I think that's only right for the levels we want to reach and the goals we have. I think we have to be prepared for that. I know on a personal level, Luke has done a lot of work over the off-season. It's shown. He's been leading the way with the running and stuff. And to be fair, we've come back with a very, very fit group. It's very tough to try and keep up with some people. Billy, the academy kid, Billy Krask, unless you don't know, he's been leading the way. And for someone that young to lead the way is positive for what we're aiming for as players. But yeah, I actually have been enjoying it. I didn't just say that, but I'm looking forward to working a bit harder and hopefully achieve something special.
And Luke, obviously pre-season, the first pre-season fixture just around the corner. How are you feeling about the season ahead, and have you got any aims or targets in mind?
Definitely, I think you always set yourself some personal targets and stats to hit. I don't know if anyone was at Hartlepool, but it'd be nice to score another one of those goals. I knew that'd get you. But yeah, definitely, I think obviously I've been here 6 months now, and there's obviously new players coming in, a few that I know, so a big part of it for me is obviously helping them settle in, the quicker they can settle in, the quicker they can obviously show what they do on the pitch. So yes, it's all good and well getting the goals and the assists, but obviously we want to have a winning mentality and making sure that we're winning as a team, and that's obviously the be-all in the end.
And Neil, going back to the players that you've brought in this summer, there's a buzz about the fan base, there's a buzz about the club. Are the days of being the underdog slowly going away?
I think it's one of them where I think last year we probably stood still, and in this division it's as good as going backwards. And I'm not saying that in a bad way. With some of the players I had, I think this year we've had to go and get ready-made players. Your Michael Cheeks and Cliftons who both scored 17 goals between them up front. Just putting pressure on, the players that I've already kept here for next season, and that's all I want. I just want to keep striving to be better and better and better every season. We've got Jordan Higgs, who's probably starting his pre-season, first time in 2 years, fully fit in the last 2 years. He's had glares and a fever, he's had a foot injury, and he's fully fit now. To coincide with bringing in someone like Billy Bingham from Gillingham League One. To obviously go alongside Frankie Raymond. So we're trying to bring in players that are just going to keep bettering this club. Like I've said, this club, you've only got to look at the stand, has got ambitions that are way above just staying in this division. They want to get promotion. I want to get this club in the league. It's a big ask. So are we the underdogs compared to some of the clubs that are coming down? Yeah, we still are. But I think all of a sudden people were a bit more wary of us. Beforehand, when we first come into the league, I think clubs were coming here just trying to beat us. We're just going to beat Bromley. I think clubs now are coming down to us and trying not to be beat. So it's now setting another sort of mindset to our players of, teams are coming here to defend and not lose against us. That's something that happened over the last couple of years, and I think it's going to be a similar sort of pattern this year. I think clubs are wary of us. And I want to go in there with the positivity that we can win every game. I don't fear anybody in this division. I've never had. I only feel what we can produce. And if we produce to our best, I genuinely believe we can have a very, very exciting season.
Mark, just going back to you, another success of the past season has been the under-23 side, or professional development squad managed by Danny Mills. And like you touched on, we've seen the likes of Billy Prass, Prince, Briggs, Odgerman as well coming through. How important is it that players who go into that squad see the pathway through to the first team?
Yeah, vitally important. We set it up a year ago, and they've been playing in the Suburban League, where they play against non-league teams, but they're playing against men, so they're actually preparing themselves for adult football. So this year, they're still only 19. Excuse me. They're still only 19. So actually, like the gaffer was just saying, the gulf between academy football now and the National League is quite big, and it is a physical and tough league, especially for young players. So they've done really, really well this year, and obviously the three that Matt has mentioned deservingly with their contracts. So fingers crossed we can get one on the pitch, if not two, throughout the season.
Jack, I just want to come back to you on this one as well. We've spoken just a few moments ago about how the club is continually breaking records for season ticket sales, and obviously everybody sat here has made that commitment to the club for next season. What does it mean to you as a player?
Yeah, no, it means a lot. I mean, being here as long as I have, and the continued support that I've seen, it's just been amazing. And we do come out here and we do give our all for you. I know it's just one of them things you think, oh, I'm just saying it, but trust me, it goes a lot deeper than you might think. And to see again where the club's going to go, I think we're going to need the support more than ever, and especially this year when we try and, you know, maybe push a bit further. It will come down to them nights where we need that extra push, and you know, we're going to make it again where you'll be able to see every player. Every player will be in there talking to you. Like, you can ask any question you like, and I personally like that. I think the more bond we have with the support and the fans, you know, it makes us have that little more of a push for you. So, but it's been amazing, and I hope for another good year of support this year for us.
And Neil, as we were saying as well, pre-season, the first fixture round the corner. Hi Nigel. The first fixture round the corner. Your old club.
Yeah, very much so. I had a great time for them. It was a special time for me there. 2 great years. Obviously winning the championship as well, playing with some fantastic people. But you know, my whole concentration is on Bromley Football Club. You know, it's a pre-season game. You know, there's no real meaning to it other than the fact that I want to get the boys fit. I want to get them, you know, up to speed. You're playing against some very good players. Obviously, Mark Pepperidge coming in and wanting to probably beat us as well. So it'll be a tough game. It'll be a first game that we can, you know, have a look at our players gelling together and hopefully, you know, see some little bonds and little partnerships that can, you know, hopefully produce during the season. So that, you know, what I'm looking at over the fact that, yeah, it's full of it's a great pre-season game for us and someone we probably haven't played against before. But for me, it's looking at how my team's progressing after the first couple of weeks of coming back from pre-season.
Obviously, plenty of good fixtures against sides at varied levels this pre-season. To obviously hope that the boys will be ready to hit the ground running come the 3rd of August.
Yeah, you know, we play the Conference South sides because, you know, we want to get to them. Obviously, the league sides and the championship sides that are coming down, you know, that's you know, for the supporters to come down and see their future talent. But for me, it's all about us. You know, all these games, you know, they bring up something different in every one of them, and you just want to see how you play. You know, my whole programme this pre-season is making sure that we peak on the first game of the season. Hopefully, you know, whoever we play, home or away, from August, you know, we're up and running. I think we started a little bit slow last year and it put us under a little bit of pressure, but you know, I learned a lot about myself and my coaching staff and about the players because it was difficult. And without your support and you know, every game coming in there afterwards and, you know, keep going and stuff like that, you are vitally important, guys. And you know, and all I say is, you know, you spread the word. You get, you know, we want to fill this club up now. We want, you know, we want to get to the 2,000 mark. When I first walked through the door,
going up, mate.
2001. He's allowed it every now and again. Don't get used to that seat, Nigel. So it's one of them where, you know, when I first walked in, we were getting, you know, 200-300 supporters average. To, you know, getting to that 1,500-1,600 now, and it'd be lovely to get that 2,000 supporters. You know, when we took them to Wembley, and there was 20,000. You know, I want to get this place buzzing. Like when we play against the Orients in the last game of the season, and with that support, I genuinely believe we can have that at home every week. Is he still talking? Take your headphones out. No, honestly, I do. I really want to get this place, you know, up and ready, and I want to make it a hard place for people to come and play. You know, as I say, I want to fill all those seats up over there. I want to fill all these seats up here when we get the extension. Again, you know, this club is really trying to go places, but we can't go without, obviously, me producing a team that you're proud of and that you're willing to spread the word for, and obviously for you guys coming every week.
And Alan, even since yourself has come into the club, it's a club that's continually developing, and it's now becoming slightly easier to attract the calibre of players that we have done.
Yeah, like I said, it's my third season here. When I come here my first season, the pitch was obviously grass. It wasn't great. It was raining, it was waterlogged and stuff. But since the progression in the last 3 years, where the club's gone, and the ambition of the club is partly why I'm here. The club wants to get into the league. I play in the league. It's a great place, and there's no reason why I don't think I normally can't get in the league. So it's exciting. Yeah.
I'd just like to, just before we come to your questions, I'd just like to go to Neil and Jack quickly. You will all notice somebody who's not here with us tonight, who is currently in hospital, and that is of course Mr. Jim Brown, who we all love dearly, and who we all know, obviously being the club shop manager, such an important figure for this club for many years, and someone who's a fighter and so positive at the minute. And I know you've been to see him very recently.
Yeah, Jim's a special person for the club, but ultimately on a personal note for me. You know, when we have had bad times and he's travelling back with supporters and they might be having a little go at what I've done or what I haven't done and stuff like that, he'll come and support me. He'll always say, you know, stick with it, he knows what he's doing, blah, blah, blah. And I treasure that sort of support from a guy that you see every morning when we come in, you know, working in the kit shop, you know, and for me, he's giving me, you know, more money to go and get a player. You know, everything he can do in that shop, it isn't for himself. It's not earning for himself. It's earning for. It's giving it to me. You know, so when you've got a genuine guy who has supported me, laying in hospital, having the treatment he's having, you know, he's still being positive. You know, I was only texting the other day, and you know, we've said we'll carry him. You know, we'll get him here, you know, somehow, because his support for me has been immense, and the support for the club, that, you know, before I even arrived here, you know, is well known amongst you guys. You know, you go in there, and you know, we got a lot of people like that at this club. You know, I've got Brian over there. You know, who's in exactly the same, but he comes in, he does hardly anything, but looks busy. No, genuinely, you know, these guys that are here a long time before myself, and will be here, you know, if ever I win. They genuinely love the club. And Jim Brown, you know, is the ultimate guy that does that. You know, the hours he does in there, folding up the kit, getting the kit out, you know, and then supporting us. You know, I generally, you know, and I hope, you know, I'll see him tomorrow. I can give him your love and your best wishes to send to him, because it does. This club means so much to me.
A few years now, I'm sure you'll echo those thoughts.
Yeah, Gavin said everything there. He means a lot to the club and to me personally. Like, I think it's my 7th year here now, and he obviously has been here the whole time. From the day I walked into the club to the day, you know, to this moment, he says hello to me every day. Dear boy, every day. Dear boy, outrageous. But yeah, he does so much, and when I even need something, you know, like a shirt, he'd be the first one to, yeah, no problem, I'll get that for you. Brilliant. And again, I know from the players who have spent time here and they're sending their well wishes to him. I've actually got a lot of messages from former players when they heard about Jim, and you know, we'll send their messages on. But that is a testament to how big of a character he is here and how much he is loved. And yeah, so to see it happen to him, how positive he is a real inspiration. And you know, he'll battle through as he always does, and hopefully he'll be out soon. So.
Okay, so now we're going to hand it over to you. We have obviously got a fantastic panel of people here tonight. So if you would like to ask a question, if you could just raise your hand or something like that, and tell us who you'd like to ask the question to, and we will pass the mic down to them. So, yes, gentleman in the stripy top.
So just shout it out there. Neil, what's the definition of success this season, and what's the definition of failure as far as you're concerned?
Well, obviously failures get relegated. You know, that's a big one. But no, in my own opinion and my own desire, and you know, I've expressed this to the boys. You know, we want to be up and around that top 10 in the playoff hunt. The clubs that are probably in that little group are getting bigger and bigger, and I believe we can generally be competing in that level. So yeah, I want to be in and around that playoff. But we also know it's a very difficult division, but I think for us to stay in that top half like we have for the last 3 years, it's been an immense, job that the boys have put in, because this league is not non-league anymore. It's a professional league. Look how difficult Leighton Orient found it. Look how Chesterfield. All these clubs that you're playing against. It's not easy. So for us to be competing where we are, I think is a massive achievement for this club. But yeah, ultimately I want to get promotion. How and when we do it, we'll see every season. But yeah, so failure is relegation. But I know you're probably thinking positional wise. I don't want to be any lower than where we finished last season. I want to be looking above the top half if I can.
Thank you, fantastic question there. Anybody else? Yeah, gentleman on the back row.
Yeah, Frankie hasn't got a club at the moment. Probably thought he would have had by now. That's not my problem anymore. I made a decision at Frankie, the two Frankies, and yeah, they were good together. Obviously, I know a little bit more about why I've done that decision. I bought him Billy Bingham, just come from Gillingham League One, and he comes with a good pedigree. People probably say he's had injuries, but he's, to be playing at that level, 31 games or whatever he did last season he was involved in. I've also got Jordan Higgs, and I think this is Jordan Higgs' year. At the end of last season, Jordan Higgs, obviously my history with Jordan goes back to when I had him in my academy when he was 15. So I believe in what Jordan can deliver. Unfortunately, like I said, in the last two seasons, the first season he had glandular fever, it took him time up and running. The two Frankies gelled really well. It was always hard for him to break him. Last season, he came in, he got injured, he played a couple of games, but by the end of the season, he was classed as fully fit. And I think, my own personal opinion, I've got to give him a platform to go and show me what he can produce. I think he's always been, second best. I'm not saying he's going to be starting every week, but I think he's got an opportunity this year to show me what Jordan Higgs can do. If I want to produce my own players at this club, like we've said we want to, or Bromley Football Club players that we've developed out there, that's the dream. 11, 16, brilliant. I've got to give him that platform, and I think this is his year this year. He started pre-season with me in 3 days, and he's showing me genuinely what I believe he can do. So in that respect, I've given Jordan that platform to go and show me at this club what he can deliver.
Thank you. Anybody else? Yeah?
At this level, it's also which you can church from year to year as a big challenge for you. Last year, one of the problems seemed to be that in the church we lost a lot of goal scorers, right? With the loss of Reese, Louis Dennis, Bonadio to a certain extent, and it wasn't until JJ Hooper arrived that we addressed that. So 2 questions out of that. Do you have any concerns with some of the players that we've lost where we've got weaknesses that we haven't properly yet addressed? And 2, seeing as Josh Reese and Louis Dennis don't seem to get much playing time for Coulson and Gillingham, any chance of seeing maybe any problem about that?
Good question. I think this year, I think we've sort of got the forwards in. I've got Michael Cheekin, who I believe is a very, very good player.
Good signings, bro.
Thank you, Nigel. He's brilliant. I told him to clap then. No, so I've got Michael Cheekin, who's obviously scored 17 goals, and in and out. But I think he can develop. I've got Adrian Clifton, who comes with that experience up front, who also scored 17 goals in a relegation threatened side as well, who gives me that bit of experience. I've just brought in Corey Henry, who's at the other side. He's 19, scored I think 6 goals for Braintree at the end of last season in 15 games, and so he can be carried in. I've also got Luke Coulson, who can score goals. Adam Meckie, who seems to be getting fitter and fitter, so hopefully he can produce. I've got Rico, who can play forward or on the wing. I've got George Porter. I think I've got abundance of forwards, whereas probably I didn't get them in until JJ Hooper come in at the end of last season. I've obviously let Omar go to replace him with these two guys as well. So I think I've got goals in the side, you know, hopefully from set plays that we're going to be working on. I've got a big side, I've got, you know, the centre halves should be scoring goals. I've got fullback Joe Kizzy, who just come in, I think scored 7 goals last season. I've got Chris Bush, obviously, who scored for everything. I think I've got goals. I don't think that's going to be a problem. I genuinely don't. I think we were the 5th top goal scorers last season without what you class as an out-and-out forward until JJ Hooper come in. So if we can produce and give the players chances this season, I think that will be okay. Going back to question 2, Josh Reese and Louis Dennis, I'm always in contact with them. Always have been, always will be. You know, they contact me as much as I contact them. But, you know, Gillingham, new manager, might get a chance. If he doesn't, then there's another conversation. Louis Dennis, you know, wants to try and produce and become the player that I believe he could be. Is he at the right club with the right manager? Don't know. He'll go into pre-season giving himself the best chance. Again, that'll be another conversation. But there's other players out there. You know, our loan signings last year really worked for us. You know, Rico come in on loan, did really well. Obviously broke his nose, missed the last season, but I thought he was capable of coming into us and having another go. I thought Brendan Sarpong come from Charlton as well. Another good player that did well. We will have to go on the loan signings, whether it's a former player that's coming into us or a young kid that wants to show that he can do. You know, we'll do it, but we'll get a portfolio of players that we've always done that we can rely on if and when we need them.
Thank you. Anybody else? Dean?
Yeah, junior man, attacking players we've got now. Will you play 2 up front, and also are we going to get more players in to cover suspension and injuries before the season starts?
Before the season starts, you won't have many suspensions and stuff like that. You might get a couple of injuries, yes. So, yeah, I know what you're saying. But yeah, we'll have players available if and when we need them. You know, we've got 18 players. You know, we've got Dunne as well, 58. So you know, we'll be looking at that. Will we be playing 2 up front? Yes. We'll be playing 2 up front. I want to go attacking a little bit more because I think I've got attacking players and attacking style that can accommodate that. You ready for this? Nigel.
Right, what I was going to say, what about the goalkeeping situation? Been very quiet on that over the pre-season. About, hold on a minute, about Gregors and all that he had to go. No, fair play, whatever and all that, what happens inside. But what are we thinking about the new fella? What's his name?
Mark Cousins. Mark Cousins.
No, I'm not thinking it and all that. He don't look too bad, but
thank you, Nigel. Let me answer one of the things I heard. On Gregors, I know he was a favourite with you guys. Yeah, he was a favourite, and I get all that. I made that conscious decision. I went for a bit of experience. The guy I brought in, Mark Cousins, comes with that experience. 20 clean sheets last season, and that's what I'm going to need. That's what I'm going to need next season. We let in too many goals. I'm not saying they were Gregors' fault, but I changed a couple of defenders to bring in new defenders, and I changed the goalkeeper for that reason. I just thought, a bit of experience. I need a ready-made keeper to come in to do that job. Jim Stannard, my goalkeeping coach, comes with every bit of experience you can have. He's played at every level in the game, 500 odd games, promotions. He's worked with Speroni, he's worked with Kelvin Davis at Southampton, he's worked with some of the best keepers there are. I sit down with Jim and we highlighted Mark Cousins as a keeper to bring in, along with maybe 2 or 3 other goalkeepers. But Mark Cousins was the one we got. And I genuinely believe he's a keeper that I will not have to worry about in respect of kicking, positional, organising of his defenders. That's why I've done it. It's my opinion, my decision, and that's why I've done it.
Thank you for that, Nigel. Anybody else? Any other questions?
Just one more thing with the goalkeeper front.
Generally, yes. He's trained with us the first 3 days. He'll do tomorrow, and then he's going up to St George's, where obviously You've got the top physios, and he'll get the treatment that he needs just to tick the boxes. So hopefully after the Fulham game he's with us full time. He's really come on a lot in the last couple of weeks. We've obviously got a new physio, Paul Smith, who was at Maidstone, comes with the experience, and we're looking forward to him being part of my squad team on the first game of the season and pre-season. So yes, he's really coming on well.
Thank you, another great question. Any others before we finish? Yeah, the gentleman over there?
Yeah, I do. I've got a few questions actually, but I'll start with the first one. Since becoming
Go after me.
It's a general one, really. So, since becoming in charge, what are the key takeaways that you've learned about being manager of this club, really?
Thanks for up.
What have I learned since I took over? That this division is becoming more professional, more full-time clubs. You're competing with league players now. Nigel, I'll meet you in the bar in 10 minutes. Go and stand up there and get me a drink. No, so what I've learned, how difficult this division is, it's getting stronger and stronger. You know, the players that are coming down in this division, you know, Salford, as I say, I keep bringing them up because of the players they brought in, but what they did, they started this ideal that players are worth a certain amount of money and you're competing with all these clubs. Yet what we've tried to do, we've tried to become a professional outfit without the money. So we've got the facility, you know, you've got the stand, you've got the facility at the back. We use nothing. We are better equipped, I believe, this year than we've ever been. You know, we've got a nutritionist that was working at Crystal Palace to give the players the best food in the morning, for lunch, best food that they can then go home and try and do themselves, because obviously I can't do it. We've got recovery shakes, we've got, you know, player tech where we know where they are on the pitch. I know it sounds obvious, but as a forward you want them more in the 18-yard box than you do outside the 18-yard box. We have drones that sometimes come and video our training sessions, so we can show the boys where they are on pitches and why we're doing patterns of play. It's the best this club has ever been. It's the most professional it's ever been. The club has grown since I walked through the door. I was playing over Norman Park up until the sun went down. So in October, we're scrambling around for a 5-a-side pitch to go and train. We haven't got that anymore. We've got our own facility. Other clubs, you know, in the league, they pull up, then they go to a training ground round the corner. We're here. We're based at Bromley Football Club. We work where we play. You want to come and watch us train? It's an open training session. You come and watch. We're an open club. We don't hide anything from anybody. As like we say, we go in the bar straight afterwards, and you come and get your views across in there. We've never shirked anything. I won't have it. We're an honest bunch of boys, honest club, honest management. So what have I learned? I've learned you've got to keep moving, you've got to keep adapting, you've got to get the best you can. And if it isn't money terms, it's the best training. And that's why I've got Hammond, that's why I've got Dunne, that's why I've got Ben May, I've got another physio in because we need someone, you know, with that bit more experience to guide Sean. And we will keep on growing and we will keep evolving as a club. This club, you know, you're looking at a different club than when if you were here when I walked through the door 9 years ago. And I know we've got supporters that have been here a lot earlier than me. Won't recognise this place. Won't recognise this place. And we will keep on growing and we will keep adapting to what we believe will get us into the league. Because once we're in the league, I don't want to come out of it. I want to go again. And I know I've got the directors, I've got an owner that wants to get into the league. The ambition of this club is to go and achieve, you know, the ultimate dream. And that's to get this club, Bromley Football Club, in with the big boys. I think Solihull will be up there again. You know, to go and get a Paul McCallum from Eastleigh for the money he was on is a massive statement from a club that's meant to have nothing. And I think they'll be up there. I think the Wrexhams will be up there again. You know, I think AFC Fylde will be up there, and hopefully we can join them. I genuinely believe we can be up there with them, with the players that we've got, the acquisitions, with the training. You know, it's going to be a tough one, but they're probably the clubs that are going to be up there or thereabouts. You know, Notts County, you're looking at a club that's just come out of the league and everything, but with the trouble that they're having with their club, Yeovil. Club's coming up, Torquay, with a very experienced manager. I think it's going to be an open league, but I think if you're looking at who's going to be up there, I think the Solihull's and the Wrexhams will be up there again.
Thank you. Any other questions? Okay, well Neil, just a final message.
Hold on a minute. Realistically, Smugs, not going to be there all next season. Don't worry about that. We're in Tuesday night shifts and people not here be there. Don't worry about that. I'll be there. But realistically, as you say, if you've got your Chesterfields, you've got your Wrexhams and all that, where do you think we're going to finish? I think playoffs myself.
I'd love to finish in the playoffs, Nigel.
Yeah,
it's going to be a big ask.
With the squad, with the players that you brought in and all that, as long as they gel together, I think we'll be alright, mate.
I'll stick with that then, Nigel. You've answered the question, mate. All I would say, we've said to the players. What we've said to the players, what we've said to the players that when they come in and when they sign, that they play for the front of the shirt, not the back. They don't play for that name on the back of their shirt, they play for the badge that's at the front. And I think the one thing you will get out of this team this year, and this squad of players, is that they will play for this club, they will play for each other, and they will play for success. No one has come in here for any other reason than to bet themselves and to bet this club. Because we don't just buy, we don't just go and get the player that we think can do it, we get the right person. And I think this year, fingers crossed, with everything, like I say, with that bit of luck that you're always going to need in football, I think we can really make this a special season. I said this 3 years ago, we were talking about it the other day, Hammond myself. I wanted to get this club to Wembley and I achieved it. I now want to get this club in the league. So that's the goal of the management, the team, the players, the owners of this club, and hopefully you guys. And I think if we stick together, and there will be tough times, and if we pull each other through, we can achieve that dream. I really do.
Guys, record-breaking numbers again. What's your message to these fans ahead of the season?
I say it after every game. Your support is immense. Your support is so important to us, and that will never change. We're not a club without you guys. Don't worry about the players, but without you supporters, we're not a club. And as long as you genuinely get behind these players, I'll take whatever comes at me. That's not a problem. But these players will never ever give you less than what 100%. Just keep supporting them, keep getting behind them. But like I said, together, and that means you guys as well. We can achieve something special this year. That's our aim.
Ladies and gentlemen, just before we have a final couple of messages, can we please give it up for our fantastic panel this evening? Just a reminder to everybody, we have our open training session here on the stadium this Saturday. That's at 11:30, and you're all invited, of course, as our non-season ticket holders as well. So get your friends to come along. It's sure to be a fantastic day.